welcome to Sarcastard Reviews. If you're watching this on YouTube, the puppy in the picture is Vader. He's half husky, half lab, all mine. For more reviews, go to www.sarcastardreviews.com. Today we're going to be talking about Live by Night. Written, directed, and starring Ben Affleck. And it's a good movie, not great. It's more slightly above average. It's about the prohibition and the violent crimes that happen between the two mob bosses that are dealing in Boston and basically trying to take over the United States. Ben Affleck starts as a former soldier, who's now a soldier in the mob, who commits violent crimes. He's a petty thief, kind of. The mob notices this. They want him to join on both mobs, the Italian and the Irish. He's working with Chris Messina, who's his partner. He's not the brains of the operation, but he's loyal and he's more the muscle than anything else. And he's also in love with the girlfriend of one of the mob bosses, the Italian mob boss. At some point, he keeps saying no to all of these, to the invitations by the mob bosses, because he doesn't want to be in anybody's pocket. He doesn't want to owe anything. At some point, the Irish boss turns on him, kind of as a result of a robbery that goes wrong. He gets arrested. He tries to run away with the girlfriend of the Irish mob boss. Bad things happen. He wants revenge. So he wants to join the Italian mob so he can do whatever he can to hurt the head of the Irish mob. He wants to hurt them. He wants to take their money away. He wants to just take everything he's got, basically. And the Italian mob sends him to Florida so he can work during Prohibition to run booze up to Boston. While he's there, he meets Zoe Saldana. They start a relationship. She's the head of basically the family they need to help run their booze in Florida. He also meets Chris Cooper. He's the chief. He's kind of corrupt, but not really. He's more of a look the other way as long as you're not hurting my town kind of police chief. And his daughter, Elle Fanning. At some point, because they are dealing with Cubans and other races, they do have to deal with the Klan. That plays a big role in this movie, is them dealing with the Klan, who originally seem like they're just trying to muscle them and take money payment, but eventually it just shows that they're racist and they don't care for anybody who works with other races. That's not a bad scene. There's or storyline. There are a few. This is one of those movies that tries to be epic, but doesn't seem to hit all the strides. It may have been cut to pieces on the cutting room floor. There may be some good scenes, but it really doesn't tell its stories coherently. It seems like it's all over the place. Ben Affleck is good. Elle Fanning is great. Chris Cooper is good also. Zoe Saldana is okay. She doesn't have a very big role. There's a lot of cliches. Things you've seen before, like Casino is a movie where I keep thinking, okay, I've seen that in Casino. I've seen that before. I know where this is going. And you do. It goes exactly where you think it's going to go. Same with Godfather. If you've seen the first two, you know you've already seen some of these scenes that are in this movie. And one of the other ones is, I would say, Public Enemy. Not so much for the scenes, but the overall tone of the movie, kind of being all over the place, trying to tell a whole story with a series of vignettes, almost. And there are moments in this movie that
they seem really out of place. There are shots that are way too artsy for a gangster movie, like the typical helicopter shot with the car driving by the water, and you see the nice reflection in the calm, still water, and it's a great shot. But it seems out of place, especially when you hold it for a minute and you do it 3 times in a movie. It just seems like it doesn't belong in a gangster movie. Same with there's some action scenes that they turn almost into the raid. Not as far as martial arts go, but as far as like the one guy running through the halls destroying everybody else. There's a huge action scene at the end that's like that, and it just seems like it's totally out of place and unrealistic and doesn't fit in a gangster movie that you're trying to make into a dramatic epic. But the action is all right. It's not great. There are some artsy scenes, like I said before, but there's things like a guy gets shot and a drop of blood falls into his drink in very slow motion, and hits the middle and spreads out, and it looks all pretty. It's like somebody was trying to make an art project in an art school or something. It just doesn't fit. Elle Fanning is great. She doesn't have a lot to do with this movie, unfortunately, but the scenes that she's in, she hits out of the park as far as I'm concerned. Chris Cooper is good. He also, same thing. He doesn't have a lot of scenes, but the ones he's in, he hits out of the park. Sienna Miller is the girlfriend of the mob boss from the beginning of the movie, and she's good, but not great. Same with Brendan Gleeson as Ben Affleck's dad. Zoe Saldana, they're just okay. But mostly Elle Fanning, I would say, is the only one that really goes above and beyond as far as acting is concerned. The action's okay. There are some good scenes. There's some good mob scenes. But it's all things you've seen before. Except for the big action scene at the end that doesn't seem like it belongs in a mob movie. Seems more like it belongs in at the end of Punisher Warzone almost. Other than that, the action does do good. But there are some real cliches. Things that you know what's coming because you've seen it before. You've seen Boys to the Hood. You know how the shootout's going to end. You know how Casino ends. You know how Godfather goes. You've seen these scenes before, so you know there's no surprise, which really takes away from the overall impact of the movie. And like I said, it does seem like it was really cut for time to fit into a 2 hours time slot, or 2 hour 10 minutes and get an extra showing. I'm sure that happens plenty of times, and it shows in this case. I would say it's a 6 out of 10. It's a slightly above average, mostly because of some good action scenes and Elle Fanning's acting, but other than that, it's something that you don't need to rush out to go see or rush out to rent when it comes out. Just wait for it to be on Netflix and you'll be perfectly happy with it. So 6 out of 10, okay movie. If you want to hear or see any other movie reviews, go to www.sarcastardreviews.com, and we'll be trying to put up more reviews in the near future. Thank you.